Hey, quick heads up for those of you guys listening to and or watching this podcast. There was a lot of technical difficulties here. We're working it out. I think we're going to move forward with getting some proper podcasting equipment because most of the stuff we've been using to this point is not. And so the audio, there is quite a bit of static that comes in and out, and the video cut out, and so some of it is shot at a really weird angle for those of you guys who are watching it. So I apologize for both of those, but this is like a super hot topic right now, and we did offer some, I think, pretty interesting insights into it, and so I don't want to not use it, but it's also quite bad at some point, so we apologize. Just wanted to give you a fair heads up before it starts. Thanks.
Okay. Well, this could still be in the podcast.
Oh yeah, but I still need an audio clap. Syncs this with
Sarah's
that
calling me right now.
In post.
Oh, nice.
Who's calling you?
I'll message her, see if it's urgent.
Okay, what's up?
Here we go. So, steroids, hot topic. Steroids in CrossFit. We've had a recent...
Performance-enhancing drugs,
PEDs. We've had some recent scandals, I guess you could say. I mean, obviously, we had the big Ricky one. That was kind of one of the first like major ones in CrossFit. And then just yesterday, stories broke of Rez. How many athletes?
14 athletes, 8 individuals, 6 team athletes.
All within this year. That's crazy.
So far, and there's more to come.
That's so far this year.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the list 10, and then there's 4.
No, there's 14 as of yesterday, and then the article clearly states that there's athletes who have appealed that are going through the appeal process. So that number will only
that they've
grow.
approved for the appeal process.
Yeah.
Because they denied some athletes the appeal, right?
Not to mention the games hasn't even taken place yet.
Yeah, exactly.
So
this is only starting in the 2018. So we're not going to go into like super deep specifics in this podcast. We're not going to talk names. We're not going to talk drugs. We're not talking stuff like that. We're going to go over kind of the general gist of like what's happened, steroids in the sport, kind of our thoughts and opinions. None of us are experts. We don't claim to be. But this is just our thoughts and opinions on this and some insights from people who have been tested or are in the sport. Sound fair?
Sound fair.
Sounds good.
I feel like there's ever since the news is broken, people just...
Everyone's an expert.
Everyone's an expert. Everyone's asking about it. Like, what do
Yeah.
you think about this? What do you think about that?
Yeah, totally.
Like, without getting into super specifics, like, we can talk about, obviously, what just came out, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, the reason why it's such a hot topic right now is because there's some big names that got caught.
Exactly. Some big names for sure. What's the current situation with that? Like, what has happened to a lot of the athletes, the punishments? Let's talk about that. Like, there's a lot of suspensions being doled out. I mean, we can say specific names and stuff. That's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Well, the list is out there.
Like, the list is out there.
It looks like every person except for one got a 4-year suspension.
one person got a 2-year ban.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I don't know why they do that. I know that the 2-year ban was a stimulant, but I didn't that was the substance they used.
Yeah.
But I didn't look to like even compare it to the other.
Do we know if
ones.
it's substance based, the punishment?
Not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure.
It might be.
Because 4 years, 2 years, that's a pretty vast difference.
Yeah.
2 years, that's
I
a
mean,
long time.
It's true. Maybe there's categories. Are there categories in the list of banned substances? Are there like category 1, category 2 substances and stuff like this?
I don't remember.
I think so. I know it breaks it
I
down
haven't read the drug
as
policy
like
in a while. Yeah.
anabolics, stimulants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You pulling it up?
But if they could break it, I don't know if they break it down into like, this is a category 1.
Yeah, I mean, on the Games article, it states everything that they've all taken, and it doesn't mean much to any of us.
Yeah.
I think it's Schedule B.
Schedule B.
Yeah.
You just gotta know what you're taking.
The Appendix B?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bear with us, we're trying to find.
I'll go over the facts.
Yeah.
Since 2010, in 2010, 2 people were caught, and then it seems like they took a 4-year break. 2014, another 2. 2015, 4 athletes. 2016, 5. 2017, 11 athletes. In 2018, we're already at 14. So it's obvious to us that CrossFit is taking this more seriously.
So 2011, 12, and 13, no one was caught?
It seems like they probably didn't test that year.
No, they definitely did.
So then no one was caught?
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't remember anything.
Huh.
Yeah, you're right. They did test because our team got tested in 2012.
Yeah. But it's like in that though, it's the big jump between 2016 and 17.
That's a huge jump.
That's a big jump.
So
Is
here's
that maybe when blood
Maybe.
became a factor?
Maybe.
Testing.
Like I don't really know, but I know that now they're just testing more people.
yeah.
So they're not just testing the people who win. And even I got tested in
Yeah.
2013. And I finished 13th at regionals. So like, I wasn't at the top, but on the last day, they were taking one guy per heat. So like as soon as I finished that last workout, I got set aside by someone and said, you've been randomly selected for drug testing, so you have to go get tested. So I remember doing that in 2013. So they were randomly testing even back then, but not as
the same
much.
level.
Not
and that
not-
probably just comes with the money. Like, it's a bigger sport. They probably have more money to test more people now.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the common question is, are more people doing it now or are more people getting caught? Do you think it's more people getting caught? Or do
I
you
think it might be both.
Yeah.
It might be both. As the sport gets bigger, more people are
exactly.
competing. There's more money involved. It's becoming increasingly harder to even just make it to regionals.
Stakes are high.
The stakes are higher.
Prize money's
But
increasing.
That's it.
I'm not quoting anybody when saying this, but I'm assuming that they want to move towards testing everybody at regionals. I think that would be an end goal for the CrossFit Games team. It's just like any other sport, if you're at the Olympics, you're getting tested. It doesn't matter if you're terrible or good. It doesn't matter if you win or not. You're getting tested, right?
I think so.
Everyone is drug tested
I
at
assume
the
so,
Olympics.
I think
So,
more, yeah.
and I think, and they've already, everyone who's at the games, at the final is drug tested, but I think they would like for it to go beyond that, for sure.
Well, even in that article that they posted, there's like we were talking about it earlier, there's like a hotline you can call.
Yeah.
And there's emails that you can
Yeah.
send. Like they are making it very user friendly.
And that's how they reply to everything. Every comment on Instagram that's replied to by anyone at HQ, it's like, well, if you actually know of someone who's taking it, please help the process and
exactly.
contact us. And
Exactly.
they seem like they're definitely being proactive. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's interesting, right? Because as the pool does grow, there is more intentions. There's more money. There's more sponsorships. There's all that. But you got to think, like, right in the drug document, it says enforcement and sanctions. One of them is forfeiting and returning any of the prizes, money, and awards that are gained. So, like, when Ricky Garrard got popped, not only did he like lose his third place, but he also lost his $70,000 or whatever it was, and all that stuff. How far back that goes, who knows? But it's hard to fathom why you would. I mean, any sponsor worth anything is going to drop you the second you get popped. You're going to have to give back all your prize money. So it's a weird. I don't know. It's a weird.
What you're saying is how, like, why do people do it?
Like, what's
And
the
like, I don't know, man. Like, honestly, and
No idea. I have no idea.
that's
It
a
doesn't make
really
any
good
sense.
question, because it's like I can't even wrap my head around why people do it.
because it's like, even if you get the money, there's still probably a 90% chance they're going to just take it away from you.
Yeah, but you don't get the money until you're tested positive or
Sure, tested negative.
Yeah. So like they withhold the money until your test comes back, and if it's good, then you get the money. If not, then you don't.
Well,
But it's the problem, I think, with our sport is it'd be hard to argue that there's another sport out there where steroids don't directly impact your performance. Like, because we're in a sport
It's not
of
like a 1-to-1 ratio.
like if you talk about let's just say like baseball, you take steroids, you might get stronger, bigger. Yeah, I mean, is it going to make you hit more home runs? Maybe,
in the past, it's proven.
Yeah,
to
but
have.
yeah, but they're all on it anyway. So it's just like will steroids increase your accuracy? I'm just saying, like, if you're in CrossFit, and you're missing certain points or you're missing certain things in CrossFit that would make you a better athlete, taking steroids can 100% increase that capacity.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like there's a direct link between getting stronger, between taking steroids and getting stronger. You know what I mean? Like and that's why, like, if a hockey player takes steroids, it won't necessarily make him a better hockey player.
No.
There's still going to be things that are missing when you think about CrossFitters, because look, the list of 14 people who got caught, how many of those were people who qualified? For individuals, only 2.
Yeah.
You know? So it's like, it's kind of embarrassing. It's like there's people still out there cheating and they're still not winning. Like that's embarrassing.
Well, I mean, you can have, we can all attest to this, you can have the biggest deadlift or, you know, the fastest 1 mile time. It doesn't matter. It's like mental between the years. I mean, that's a whole other conversation on its own too, is, you know, the people who are taking drugs and do get caught in a sport like CrossFit, it's like, how obviously the drugs play some part in it, but Ricky Garrard is still a fucking amazing athlete, and you can't really take that away from him, because it still hurts you just as bad on steroids. You know what I mean? Like, doing Fran in under 2 minutes is still going to hurt just as bad whether you're getting help in the squat from the steroids or not. You still have to have the between the years.
Yeah, I think it's more like
a little bit.
I think the biggest advantage that you can gain from taking that stuff is in your recovery during the year. Yeah, like you're only as, and that's why people take all these recovery supplements that are more natural, you could say, quote unquote, bunny ears, because you're trying to recover so that you can come back to your workout and you can work out just as hard or harder, and that's where you make your gains moving forward. If you're on steroids, you're on the ultimate recovery supplement, and you can recover workout after workout and continue to get fitter and fitter and fitter and fitter. You know, maybe not just because like your anabolic steroid put 20 pounds on your back squat, but you can do 15 workouts in a day and it's not going to kill you. You're like,
you might not get injured from it.
You're 18 years old again.
Let's also be honest. I think it's safe to say that neither of anyone sitting at this table knows enough about steroids and what they can do for us, right? Like, we've never even, like, outside of protein shake, you know, like, we're a bunch of clean dudes, so like, who knows what these steroids are doing for people, right? Like,
we're just going based off what we
we know. So based on like sports culture, steroids are getting better, right? Like, they're getting better. There's different steroids for different things. So maybe they are seriously helping these people.
Yeah.
And even maybe the games is not.
We keep on saying steroids, but steroids is a small piece of performance enhancing drugs, right? Which is like there's a lot more than just steroids. It's like all kinds of crazy stuff.
So it's like, who knows? Like, is Ricky Garrard better off steroids? Like, we don't know. Like, maybe he's taking some really good shit. Like, I don't know.
That's true.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You're right. Maybe he'd be absolute garbage without it.
Yeah.
Well, so kind of brings me to another point is the off-season protocol, and not only the off-season protocol, but the fact that testing doesn't happen until you've really done something, right? Like, you have to make it to regionals, and then what's the protocol at regionals? Does everyone get tested at regionals?
No.
This year was different, though.
So,
this year on Thursday night, okay, this is the first time this has ever happened. On Thursday night, before we had our tour of the facility, the regional director said, he's like,
gathered everyone in a group.
Yeah, everyone was there. And he's like, if your birthday is in March, if I say a month and your birthday's in that month, you have to stand over here. So he starts naming months. Like, if your birthday's in March, you have to go behind me. So then the people like walk behind. I'm like, what the hell's going on? If your birthday's in December, and he's like, there's no real order. He's just like naming off months. And then at the end, he's like, okay, everyone whose birthday I called, you're gonna head over there. You've been randomly selected for drug testing. And there was a crowd. Like, there was a lot of people, right? So it's just, I think it was the first time that they've actually done that, and that's why the number has skyrocketed.
Right.
It's because they're testing more people that don't necessarily win. And like, I think that number would probably even get higher if it tested people in the top 100 in the open.
Yeah.
Well, see, and so and that's where I'm going with this, is that, let's say you realize early on that, like, you have what it takes, maybe between the ears, maybe you almost qualify for regionals, but say you're like me and you have really crappy strength numbers, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, I didn't qualify for regionals. No one's watching me right now. Let's take the next 2 years, not compete in CrossFit, take a boatload of steroids, so all my weaknesses. And then the problem is you can cycle off, be completely clean when you come back in. I don't know enough about steroids to know if you keep all those gains, but I'm sure you have something that you've kept from it.
For sure.
And then you come in. And that also ties into like, what is and I've looked at the document, I don't see anything specific as to what they do when they ban people. So the 4 years Ricky Garrard is off, is he able just to keep going ham on the steroids until like 6 months before he comes back and then cycle off and be...
Maybe, man.
Yeah.
That's a good question again. It's like...
It's a really good question.
I think it just comes down to...
That's why they have the hotline.
It comes... Yeah.
You kind of got to
Well, it's 'cause-
count the community to
Yeah, exactly.
keep clean.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why there's... Everyone who's tested is still on the list. Someone told me how many people were still on that list.
From who have been previously tested positive?
No. The list of people they randomly check. Like, I think it might have been like 300. I think there's like 300 people on this list that are just part of that random pool.
Yeah.
Like the pool that I'm in, that I say like every 3 months I get that email. I think there's about 300 people in that. So like what you're saying is that if you were doing that, and we heard that, we could easily
Just be like, hey.
call HQ and make sure that you got tested.
It's interesting though too, because like you see, you know, a lot of people breakout years, or they've never qualified for regionals and now they qualify for the games. It's like, that's honestly where more of my questions lie. I think we've pretty much expelled the fact that just because you look jacked doesn't mean you're on steroids. Like Jason Khalifa, everyone's accused him forever. That guy's probably been tested more than anyone in the sport. He's been around for so long, and they've always come back clean. He's obviously a stand-up dude. So that might not be a great indicator, but like, what about these guys who do their first open, first regionals, first games in today's era? 5 years ago that was possible. Not today. There's no fucking way someone's first open is going to be their first regional, first game.
Yeah.
Hasn't Jason Khalifa admitted to doing steroids in his like football years?
Well,
and, like, high school
that's
or
just
something
it too.
that?
Like, there's nothing preventing people from competing who have done steroids in the past. Like,
But that's like
it. There's nothing we can do about that.
Yeah, it's tough because that's like any sport. You know what I mean? Like I could be like, I'm going to be an Olympic weightlifter and train in my basement, take a bunch of steroids for 5 years, cycle off, and be top of the game out of nowhere.
But here's the thing, man. People might not like this answer, but if you suck, I don't care how many steroids you're taking, you're still going to suck at CrossFit.
Yeah. Yeah, so between the year.
Man, and if people listen to this and people have done in steroids and they're still, you know, not cracking the top 20 or top 15 to go to regionals and you're on steroids, like, quit, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you're embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, there's no, you know, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It just goes to show you, and we know that there's some guys out there that are on steroids and on PEDs, and they're trying to get any advantage that they can get to try and make it to regionals. And then we're just talking about regionals. We're not even talking about the games, but just regionals, you know. And we know that some guys are on and they still don't make it, or they do and they still suck. It's just like it's embarrassing. You know, there's so much more that goes into it.
And you know what's terrible about those people too is that they're in their communities and they're closer to the average member than the games athletes. So the average member looks up to them and they're like, hey, they're doing steroids, like, it's probably okay for me to do a little bit of steroids. You know what I mean? And it's that trickle down effect where they're influencing what people think it takes to get to like a higher level, which is so fucking sad. So sad.
Yeah.
It's insulting too, because they think that's what it takes to make it to the next
It
level.
tarnishes the whole sport.
I think everyone's on
Yeah,
steroids.
and that's why, like, if they're starting to catch people doing that, and I, you know, I'm extremely happy that they're testing more people that aren't in the top 5.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
like, you can make the argument that like it doesn't matter. Like, we catch these people, we're spending money catching these people, but what does it actually do? Because the people who are at the games are getting tested anyways. So it's like, you suck anyways, so why would we care if you're on steroids? I think it's just more for the integrity of the sport.
100%.
And CrossFit is about community. It's about our entire community, about health and fitness. So it's like, if we know that there's some people who are in our community and basically going against everything that we preach about health and fitness to try and gain that extra advantage by taking steroids, like, let's out them. Let's find them.
Well,
And that's why I really hope that one day everyone at regionals, you show up, you pee. or you get blood tested, you know. And I hope that one day the games get big enough that there's enough money to do that.
Well, I mean, this might seem like an obvious answer, but like, how does it affect you guys as competitors? People beside you taking drugs.
Does it affect?
Yeah, how does it affect? How does it affect the competition as a whole?
Fires me up. Makes me want to beat them more.
That
Makes me want to beat them more.
Honestly, it's
Yeah,
like-
exactly.
It's motivating.
It's motivating, and I don't know. Like you can't let it demotivate you. You can't.
No,
let
it doesn't.
It's gonna happen. It's always gonna happen.
It just pisses you off, man.
Yeah, it pisses me off, and it's like I just feel sorry for them.
Yeah.
Like here's the thing. Like let's talk about Ricky Gerard and Pat Vellner. Like how that affected Pat Vellner.
Yeah.
On like a real level is a lot, right? Like he missed out on being on the podium with Brent Fikowski, 2 Canadians. He missed out on the glory of that weekend, and how that affected that person.
Huge.
Is huge. And I think that how that affected pretty much everyone at the games too, because they didn't just, they don't take all his scores out. They don't rejig all the points.
Yeah.
Because that could make a difference too. Like if you take Ricky Gerard and just eliminate him from the competition, that changes things.
Yeah.
Maybe Vellner, maybe someone, jumps Vellner or vice versa. Maybe Vellner jumps Fikowski and finishes second, if we rejig all the points. So like how that affects it at that level is huge.
Yeah.
And just it's just the way it is. But that level is obviously different than our level, where we're just, it's the guys at regionals, and we're trying to get to the top 5.
Yeah.
And it's just
it's CrossFit becoming more legit too, right? Like this is CrossFit becoming a real sport now. You know what I mean? Like just like any other sport, there is cheaters in every single sport. Every single sport in the world, there are cheaters.
Yeah.
Whether they're cheating the sport or they're taking PEDs, CrossFit is now part of that culture.
I think
CrossFit's doing a great job.
Yeah.
Like if you just look at those numbers I read off at the beginning, like they're cracking down on it, and it's good. It's a good thing.
I think the people that are cheating are the people that don't understand what CrossFit is for outside of competition.
Sure.
They don't understand like what CrossFit is truly meant to be used for in terms of health and fitness, and they think that it is just the sport side of things, and they think that just like all those other sports like baseball and cycling, and they're gonna hide it, because those organizations, like, it happens and those organizations hide it, but CrossFit, the community-based sport, is exposing them because they're we can't let this shit happen.
And you see that now. Like now that, let's take Emily for an example. Like go to her Instagram. Like every single one of her pictures has like hateful comments now. Like that's like I don't agree with that. But if you're in this community and you get busted, you're getting crucified.
Like, well, I agree that the community does have some play in that with the crucifixion, but I would kind of disagree in the fact that like athletes don't do it do it because they don't know about the community side of it. I think some people don't care. Like I don't think Matt Fraser cares about the health side of CrossFit.
That's what I mean.
Like whatever.
I think they're aware of it. I just don't think that they think that the sport is bigger than it actually is.
I think it could be also more just they don't understand what it takes to be good in CrossFit, let alone they don't understand what the morals of CrossFit are, because there are some top athletes who are taking drugs who just don't give a shit about the morals. It doesn't affect. I think some people don't realize that a 500-pound back squat and a sub 5-minute mile independently are not going to make you a top level athlete.
There's
It's
also
like
athletes,
what can you suffer?
There's also athletes like Aussie Dan talks to us about this. Like regional athlete opens up an affiliate, knows nothing about the health and fitness side of CrossFit, just knows how to compete, and like turns into a shitty gym. So it's like. You'll get that.
But you look at football and all these sports that hide it. Like those sports, to be successful, they need those athletes to stay at the top, because they are the sport. CrossFit does not need those athletes to stay at the top. Because CrossFit without the games is still CrossFit. CrossFit still exists without the games. CrossFit is still it's still a thing. Right?
That's so funny you say that, because every time I get asked, like, I've gotten asked this question so many times, like, what do you think? Do you think Rich is on steroids and they've caught him, but they just don't want to say it because it'd be too bad for the sport? Like, I say no.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh well, the sport couldn't handle a scandal. I'm like, first of all, it could.
Yeah. Because
it's way greater than just the games, like you just said.
Yeah.
And and there's no chance in hell. It would even be better for the sport
Yeah.
if they would catch the top guys.
Yeah, and help
you know
them.
what? Because it would make sense.
Yeah.
It'd be like, oh my God, okay. Rich dominated
Yeah.
for years and years, and like, oh, okay, well he was on roids, but he's not.
Yeah.
That's why, like, if they did catch him, CrossFit would for sure throw it out there.
Yeah.
Like, we're not hiding anything.
Yeah.
When I was researching this stuff, I just typed in like CrossFit athletes that were popped, and like a Men's Health article came up about Ricky Garrard. Like,
Oh, really?
that's kind of good for CrossFit.
Oh, totally.
Like, Men's Health is now talking about how CrossFit's eliminating cheaters. Like,
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Man, let's talk about Emily.
Yeah, go for it. You
Let's
know
do
her.
it. Yeah,
Are we rolling right now?
Yeah.
that's why it's like it's close to home. It sucks.
Really sucks.
It's like,
Why?
why? Because she's Canadian. She's a friend of mine. She's been here.
Yeah, she
It
announced
just-
one of the NCR workouts, the classic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
she
that's
did.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just sucks. It just sucks. But
Is that I don't know. I don't want to say friendship over, but you know what I mean? How does that affect you on a relationship point of view? A friend of yours?
look, I haven't talked to her yet. Like I don't know if I will reach out, but I haven't talked to her yet. But it's like, it's just she hasn't really come out and said exactly what her story is. So I mean, we won't talk about that. But she's basically saying that she didn't know, or it's not her fault. So it's like, you obviously, I'd like to believe her.
Yeah. Well, and we mentioned this offline a little bit earlier. It's like, what if you had been taking something that you didn't know, like a regular supplement?
But that's exactly it, and that
And-
scares the shit out of me,
Yeah.
right? Like,
And, like,
and it's possible.
You'd feel almost like you're suffocated, like you can't say anything because no one's gonna believe
Yeah.
you unless you can prove it, which
It-
is impossible.
Yeah, you can't prove shit, and that's what
Yeah.
what the thing is. It just comes down to responsibility. You're responsible for anything that goes into your body, in your shaker cup, and it's whether you knew it or not. It's like,
Yeah.
it's really fucking unfortunate if her truth is the actual truth. But the fact of the matter is, it was in her blood. It's just
Yeah.
It's devastating.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, you feel bad if it's true. If it's not, then it's just, she got caught, and she's gonna serve the sentence. I don't know what
Yeah.
she's gonna be appealing. I don't know what her story is exactly, but
The thing is, the sentence that like the ban and the all that stuff that CrossFit puts out, I feel like that doesn't even compare to like your reputation that is now tainted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you were a role model.
Yeah.
And you were. Did she
Dude.
own a gym?
Even
No.
just amongst your friends and family, man.
Oh,
Just
dude.
amongst your
yeah.
friends
But the
and
thing is,
family.
like, her friends and family will believe her. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And they'll stand by her, and
Yeah,
that's
like,
what
if
that's
you-
what's gonna keep her going. But
Yeah.
it's just
You were
there's gonna be that
Yeah,
doubt in the community for
Yeah, but,
everyone.
but it's like
you know?
what you said too. Like if let's say my brother
Mhm.
was in the sport, got tested for steroids and tested positive, then I would take the view of, okay, like, you're fully responsible for what you put in your body, so like, you're an idiot. But yeah, like, you're my brother, I still love you,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
can stand
yeah,
by
yeah.
you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, I'll support you and help you get off your ass here. But like,
Yeah.
you're
But you're still an idiot. Yeah.
But it's like, before PT and I were talking, it's just like, imagine PT fails a drug test.
Yeah.
And he's like, guys, I seriously, what?
Dude, I think about that all the time, and it's like,
You know?
it's scary shit, because it could, like, it's like,
Your credibility is gone.
it is.
You know what I mean? Like,
But
it's-
the example that I'm telling you is like, I could, it's possible to fuck with someone.
Yeah, it is.
If someone really hated someone at regionals, it'd be like, how easy is it to take a shaker, open it up, put something in?
Oh my
People,
God.
it's very easy to. There's people out there date raping people. You know what I mean? Like, it's possible to lace someone else's
So
drink.
crazy.
It's crazy to think about, but that is possible. That's why, like, there's the benefit of the doubt. But I think the sad part is, if she is right, there's nothing to appeal. It's in her blood, whether it's, it was
Whether it was her fault or not.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's a PED, and
Yeah.
and it just exactly, and that's the thing with CrossFit. It's like, it's gonna be very tough for her to go against that, or to go against CrossFit in that, because it's their rules.
Yeah.
It's
like, it's not
it's not up to her to disguise or discuss how it got into her blood. It's
Yeah.
like whether it's a needle, whether it's a pill, or whether it's something else, like
It was in there.
contamination.
Exactly.
It was still in your blood.
Yeah.
What does she do? What do those athletes do that get caught? What do they do after that?
No
How do
idea.
they come back? Can they come back? What are your thoughts on how they salvage their personal brand or whatever it might be?
It's done.
It depends. It
Well,
depends
look
if they're identified
but
by
look
it.
at, look at Ben Bergeron.
Yeah, and look at Ricky Garrard. He's selling out regionals training camps on fucking Instagram.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's crazy. It blows my mind.
So there's your answer.
Yeah. Okay, but talk about getting back into the sport. Would you, like, what happens in a couple years if you're at the games competing beside Ricky Garrard? How does he earn?
Did you ask me that
back?
question
How does he
earlier?
earn-
I think if you serve your sentence, man, you serve your sentence.
Yeah.
And if you test and you pass the test, then it's like, okay, you're clean.
Yeah.
You know, and then
You'll
it's
probably
like,
come back to it with the mindset of like, I fucked up, not like,
yeah,
I
and that's why the sentences are that big. Like
Yeah.
4 years, especially. Well, for Ricky, it's probably different. He's 21 or whatever now. You might be 22, but he'll come back at like 25. Like you can still have a pretty stellar CrossFit career if you're
Big
back
time.
at 25.
That guy gets
But-
booed though.
Oh yeah.
That guy
I don't
gets
know,
booed.
man. I don't know, because the CrossFit community is a good community. Like we would probably we celebrate second chances. Like look at all these ex-cons that are opening up CrossFit affiliates and people are praising them.
That's true.
You know, like it's very possible that
That's
Ricky
true.
comes back, passes the test, and it's like, you know what? I learned from my mistakes.
Yeah.
I should have never taken it because I'm a hell of an athlete anyways, and I made it again.
Definitely
you know?
he definitely has to have the right attitude.
Yeah, and if he does, then it's good.
That's
But that's
his
the. I
attitude.
think that's
Yeah.
the problem with everyone who gets caught. Like
I know.
I have yet to hear, except for that one girl down in the south that basically said like, yeah, I
I'm
took
an
all this
idiot.
shit. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
It wasn't her. It was another one like, this year. I don't know exactly what it
Newhart
was.
said that too.
Newhart
Yeah.
owned
She
up
owned
to
it,
it.
yeah.
She's
Yeah.
like, I wanted to get stronger. I wanted to get
Yeah.
better. I
Yeah.
wanted to.
Yeah.
Sorry,
and she's
I
like, I
fucked
fully
up.
regret it. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And now she's doing bodybuilding.
Oh.
That's what she's doing.
Yeah. You see, I respect that. I respect that.
Totally.
You got it. There's some sort of ownership.
Yeah.
Ownership needs to happen. You
Own
know,
your
it's,
mistakes and
yeah.
move on and keep your mouth shut.
Mhm.
Keep your head down. And then when
But like it is
happens-
possible to come back from that. But like in Emily's case, like I think she wanted this to be her last year competing anyways. I think she wants to do other things, you know, related to fitness and so will this hurt her? It might hurt her a little bit, you know. Is she going to come back after 4 years? Who knows? Who knows? But can she? Yeah, probably. She's a hell of an athlete. Like, you know, she's passed all the other tests up until now. You know, she's been at the games 4 years.
Yeah.
So like she's proven that she's
She
done
can
it
do it without
cleanly.
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
I can't stop thinking about what I would do if that happened to me. And I am like in terms of CrossFit, I am not a big deal. Like I would probably move. Like I'd sell my shares of the gym and I'd move to somewhere
If
else.
you got caught for steroids, I'd buy your shares from the gym.
Well, yeah, I'd
for zero.
Sell them to you.
Yeah, I was
They're
gonna
not
say,
worth
fucking
zero.
I was gonna say I'd take them from you.
Yeah, exactly. We should write that in
What
our
would you
shareholders
do?
agreement.
Yeah, what would you
If
do?
you get caught for steroids.
No, seriously though, PT, what would you do?
Automatic.
Seriously,
If you got caught for
Absorption.
steroids,
no, if you got caught, what would you do?
oh my god, man, I'd disappear. I'd put my head in the
Exactly.
sand. I
But,
said,
okay,
like,
think about it like this
we
though.
need fuck.
What if you got caught, but you didn't know? Like you seriously were one.
then I would be on a mission to clear my name. Like, and, like
but no
I
one's-
would just
But
like.
would you be dissolved as a shareholder? Like that's what I'm talking about. Like what?
Yeah,
if,
yeah.
Oh,
what
that's
if you
some
got caught?
business that we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Though?
I know,
Like,
and this is
knows,
this
man?
is exactly what Emily's. This is what Emily is facing right now.
I don't
know. I don't know if she said she's going to explore her options and maybe get some legal involved. And like, I don't know if that's her best option. You know.
I just can't stop I can't stop thinking about what I would do, or like I'd love to know what you guys like. What would you do? I feel like
Who knows?
I feel
Who
like
knows?
I feel like I would just move and start some sort of like fitness something. I don't know, man.
Well,
It's
especially
stressful, dude.
I don't
It's
know.
seriously stressful.
Or maybe just change careers.
Yeah, because like when it's your life, it's
Something,
tough.
I
But
don't know.
like
Go
if
back
Matt
to
Fraser
Boys
popped you
Club.
just be an engineer, it's like whatever.
Yeah.
start eating
You know what I
carbs.
mean?
Yeah, exactly. I might go back to school.
Yeah.
Go back to school, do a master's, and just
Yeah.
bury my head in books for a while.
Go back to Export Development Canada.
Yeah.
Start a hockey
Helping
camp?
small and medium businesses in Canada export and finance deals. And
Hockey camp.
no,
Hockey camp.
no, I get
Emily,
out of fitness.
maybe
I
like
get out of
basketball?
fitness.
We should open up like a basketball camp in China.
I'd get back on the cars and back on the couch.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
All right. Any thoughts? Any final thoughts? Closing thoughts?
Don't do steroids, kids.
Yeah,
It's a
don't
great
do
way to
drugs.
end
Don't do
Just-
drugs.
Just be better.
Yeah.
Make the right choice.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's it.
All right. Thanks, boys.
Thanks for listening.
Took a drink out of Pete's water bottle. I'm freaking out.
You did? Oh.